Hi, my name is Casey. This is Zainab, Sweeney, Ghazal, Noreen, and Lydia, and we are presenting the future of coffee shops. Before I continue to talk about our future options of coffee shops, I'd like to define what a coffee shop is and a brief history. Then I will go through two precedents we've looked at, one being a local shop, Dark Horse Coffee, and Starbucks Coffee, which is known worldwide. When Europeans began drinking less ale and more caffeinated beverages in the 17th century and talking about ideas rather than just seeking a break from manual labor, the age of the coffee shop was born. The coffee culture has been part of pretty much every culture, from Turkey to England, Italy, and Asia. For our project, before looking at the future options for the coffee shop, we looked at precedents to see how sustainable they were and who they have impacted in our society. The first coffee shop is Dark Horse Coffee, local coffee shops located Spadina and Dundas, and two on Queen Street. There has been a trend in some coffee shops toward mass production, where food is made in factories and shipped out to various locations. The sandwiches and baked goods are pumped with additives to extend their shelf lives, and they're left to sit in a refrigerator for days on end. Well, here's a breath of fresh air in its Dark Horse Coffee espresso bar. They prefer all that is natural, and it shows in the taste and value of everything you could purchase from them. Their philosophy is simple: improving Toronto's coffee scene one latte at a time. The first thing that you'll notice upon entering Dark Horse Espresso Bar is the huge wooden table in one corner. The main idea for a communal table was found while traveling in Europe, to encourage traveling strangers to talk to each other in an intimate setting. Reclaimed wood has been used for most of the furnishings. Large windows to accommodate natural light flood the space, and effective lighting to create ambience and also to conserve energy is also used. None of the bars have outlets for plugging in laptops or any other electronics. Many of the people who work here are trained in latte art, so your beverage may likely be adorned with a delicate flower or inspirational heart. And they don't load up the drinks with chemicals as they do in other coffee shops, but rather they invite you to sweeten your coffee with more natural options such as honey or brown sugar. Dark Horse's supplier of their espresso roast is from Detour Coffee Roasters. The blend is adjusted seasonally. Recently, Dark Horse has switched to the most efficient and greenest roaster available. The Loring uses very little gas in comparison to traditional drum roasters. The Loring has, essentially, a closed low-oxygen environment. There is less oxidation happening during the roasting process, which means more flavor is left in the coffee. Overall, Dark Horse is going back to what coffee shops were, a place that largely served as a center of social interaction. It provides social members with a place to congregate, talk, write, read, entertain one another, or pass the time, whether individually or in small groups of 2 or 3 people. This coffee shop serves as an informal club for its regular members. The next coffee shop is the more popularly known Starbucks Coffee. Starbucks preaches sustainability practices, but it's all corporate-based. During employee training, there's no training on sustainability and recycling. Sadly, to make things more convenient, all the plastics from the powder and syrup packaging gets thrown in the garbage with the coffee grinds and other waste materials. Starbucks customer satisfaction and freshness guarantee means that a lot of the product is dumped out and wasted. Starbucks prides their freshness policy. This means that the baristas have about 10 seconds to use a shot before it darkens through oxidation and is no longer fresh to use, which also adds to waste. Starbucks' new reusable cups have changed the responsibility of recycling and reuse of cups from their actions to the consumer's actions. It has now become the consumer's responsibility to act responsibly. Ceramic cups are not an option if you stay in the coffee shop. Sadly, Starbucks cups are not usually disposed of in the store. The purpose of the to-go cup is that you can take the coffee anywhere you would like to on the go, so the majority of the coffee is disposed outside the store. Who knows if they're disposed of properly or not? Starbucks coffee is still not entirely certified by any third-party external auditing company for fair trade and sustainability. Recently, Starbucks has revised their goal. Previously, the target was 25% of beverages in reusable cups by 2015. Now it's 5% of beverages in personal tumblers by 2015. Currently, 2% of Starbucks beverages were served in reusable cups of some sort. New markets such as China and Hong Kong do not even have these sustainable products and knowledge in mind. Essentially, the aspect of sustainability is only marketed in the places where it would help the brand image. For example, in Europe, sustainability and fair trade coffee is a major contributing factor to consumer choice. One of the newer factors of sustainability in Starbucks are the new store designs that meet LEED certifications. They are wonderful as they focus on leaving out materials and finishes to help the environment, rather than focusing all the attention on LEED certified products that are used to rack in LEED points. Starbucks is having a hard time maintaining its independent neighborhood, and thus has decided to open up an unbranded and independent coffee shop called the 15th Avenue Coffee and Tea. This is a way for Starbucks to rebrand its image, and it also proves the importance and value of the independent coffee shop mentality. People are looking to move away from the corporate identity. Instead, they opt for the underdog, a business that is for the people. This is the branding philosophy that is constantly marketed by Starbucks, but ultimately it is still a multi-million-dollar company, and really that cannot be changed even with a new name.
Shared planet is a relatively new concept, but Starbucks has been operating as a responsible company since the beginning. The way we treat our customers, the way we treat our coffee farmers, the way we reduce our environmental impact.
We've taken this philosophy and we're really pushing our boundaries with these new designs, celebrating the local artists, and we're building to meet environmental standards through LEED certification.
It's called Leadership in Energy Environmental Design, and it's essentially a third-party certification system that verifies your building green. It takes into account the energy used in the stores, the materials used to build your stores, the water usage in the stores, actually even where you build your stores.
In the stores, there are these little metal discs that talk about different things that we did in that store to help the environment.
Finding urban trees that has blown down in the wind,
recycled leathers,
Reclaimed wood made into siding.
metal that can be repurposed from a shipyard.
We're even using a high percentage of recycled content in all our countertops.
it ties so well to the Shared Planet initiatives that it's just perfect.
We live in a world that has seen enough new. We don't need to keep cutting things down. We don't need to keep depleting. There's so many opportunities for reuse.
Every store has its own character, enhanced by local artists and recycled materials.
It's so authentic and everything a coffee house should be.
We're literally re-infusing the neighborhoods with pieces of history. I think it's insanely exciting.
It's not plasticized, it's not over-coated, it's not stamped out, it's eclectic as we go from city to city and block to block.
For all the right reasons, it's the right thing to do, and it's really, really exciting.
Now, after researching our coffee shop precedents, the future options can now be explained. In total, there are 4 future options that outline where we see the future of a coffee shop going. Each of the future options is very different from one another, providing our class with many future options for the coffee shop. Future option number 1, reusable personalized cups. Unlike newspaper and cardboard boxes, disposable paper cups are not recyclable. This is because of the polystyrene coating on the cups that is required to make them waterproof. Besides not being recyclable, manufacturing this coated paper stock is very energy intensive, produces greenhouse gases, results in loss of trees, and degradation of natural ecosystems. And all of the paper cups need to be transported to the coffee shops. By the time a disposable cup reaches your hand, it has cost 1/4 pound of carbon dioxide to be emitted into the atmosphere, the same as driving 1/4 mile. You get the idea. So here's the first solution. There's a new type of biodegradable and compostable paper cup that is available, but they are a bit more expensive, relatively resource intensive to produce, and have not yet been widely adopted across the country. The fact is, regardless of what they're made of, most disposable beverage cups still end up in landfills. So 500 years from now, the cup you toss out today will still exist in either a landfill or somewhere in our environment. These cups break down into earth-friendly compost that could be used to fortify soil. Right now, many restaurants don't compost their biodegradable products because commercial composting isn't widely available. Something that Tim Hortons has developed in Nova Scotia is an effective way to recycle Tim Hortons beverage cups into the takeout trays, which can then be recycled into more trays. Tim Hortons has become the first service restaurant in Canada to recycle used cups into another product. So here's our future option. In the future, the active cups are over. Everyone can have their own cup that is personalized and can change with the moods. Personalized travel mugs will be created, adding photographs and names to the cups, making them stand out. There could be a technology in the future allowing the cups to be compacted in size, being able to travel with you to small spaces. This is an incredibly sustainable option as it encourages reuse and eliminating the waste of cups. Future coffee shops can take these points into consideration as their products are just as important to their design as their physical store themselves. Future option number 2. Everything is a coffee shop. According to the theory of Stephen Gordon, in the future, everything will be a coffee shop. Sustainability is the capacity to endure. One can argue that the modern coffee shop is synonymous with sustainability. It is the modern society's third space. In the future, everything will be a coffee shop, and the coffee shop will be everything. The campus coffee shop. Through the integration of wireless resources, virtual interaction, and the instant access to internet via mobile devices and technology, universities are starting to offer courses online, allowing students to gain degrees without ever even having to attend a single class. So what's the point of having a local college? We think that eventually some of these campuses might become places where students seek tutoring, networking, socializing. What used to be a college campus would now essentially be a giant coffee shop. The bookstore coffee shop. With the launch of e-books and other electronic devices, bookstores and personalized libraries can now be literally stored in your pocket. E-book notes and other annotations can be shared online, and writers can publish more directly to their audience. Nothing ever goes out of print because there are no print runs, so what's the point of a bookstore? They can only accommodate a fraction of titles and they require expensive real estate. Huge bookstores will eventually shrink down to be a coffee shop with a few shelves, a few printers, and an author signing books in the corner. The coffee shop will eventually become the predominant environment, and the bookstore will be an added convenience service. The shopping mall coffee shop. More and more people are starting to shop online and avoid the hustle and bustle of the stores. The product selections online are better than that of even the largest retailer and easily accessed from anywhere in the world. Furthermore, technology has advanced to the point where manufacturers are mass producing less and less in factories. 3D printing, a newly emerging technology, will allow products to be manufactured made to order close to the consumer. This online shopping will be done in the consumer's third space, the one space that they feel comfortable working, learning, and socializing, the coffee shop. And the office coffee shop. Office resources that were unavailable just a few years ago can now be accessed from home, and the major functions of the office equipment can now be duplicated with a single laptop. With the use of smartphones in conjunction with more work being done outside the workplace, the remaining function of the office has become the place where colleagues and clients go to meet, collaborate, and grab a coffee. The workplace is a place where workers go to share ideas and talk, not unlike the role of the current coffee shop. Gone are the cubicles and hierarchy of the previous office. Contemporary offices with the open concept spaces are starting to look more and more like the modern coffee shop. Tables, couches, the works, where groups constantly form and disband in staggering work cycles. We predict that the modern office will become a coffee shop, one that features conference spaces, meeting areas, and cubicles for rent. In the future, everything will become a coffee shop, and the coffee shop will become everything, making the coffee shop a sustainable physical environment. Future option number 3, the pop-up coffee shop. The coffee shop will start to introduce the city into its landscape, being integrated within the city by interacting more with the outdoor environment. Today, when we think about a coffee shop, we instantly imagine an indoor environment where people can sit and enjoy their time with friends. In the future, the coffee shop will be part of the nature, the city, and the world we live in. Coffee shops will be a way to introduce the outdoors, keeping sustainable by using natural light, natural environments, and fresh air, which everyone enjoys more. Many coffee shops say that they use sustainable materials, though they can improve by having a smaller footprint, an outdoor aesthetic, and introducing the real world into the world of coffee and customers. Currently, we see many people grabbing coffees to go and going somewhere else where they can enjoy their time and not stay in a packed shop. Coffee shops are proposing ideas to be portable, moving to many locations, introducing new environments, and giving the opportunity to people where they can explore new places and people. Already we can see different pop-up shops around major cities. They are popping up in squares and on the streets, running out of food trucks and vans. Mobile apps for phones help people locate where these trucks are, even in the whole day. In Union Square, in New York City, there are food trucks that serve lobster, handmade chocolates, and other delicacies. The best part, these shops can be moved anywhere. The possible downside to this future option is that the gas emissions for these mobile shops are very unsustainable. But if this is a future option, there could be other fuel technology that the trucks can run on, so that future coffee shops can be mobile, have a very small square footage, and encourage customers to get outside. Overall, the coffee shop used to be an indoor space where people can have coffee while having a conversation with friends. Today, the coffee shop is moving toward blending within the city and the outside world. Customers can now explore nature and enjoy the experience of being in a coffee shop within the city.
I love the smell of coffee in the morning.
Would you like a free cup of coffee? Enjoy.
Babe, can I get you a free cup of coffee? All right, take it easy, bud.